Welcome back to TF2 Tactical Knowledge. In the last video, we talked about healing priorities and the difference between the two healing rates the metagun offers. Today, we'll talk about what situations actually require an uber charge to get through, and the differences between deploying your charge earlier and later in comparison to the opposing medic's uber charge. As with all of the previous videos, this video requires you to have been following along with the aforementioned videos. Now with that said, let's get to it. It's tactics time. The uber charge is quite possibly the most powerful tool for any team. Regardless of the skill a player might have as any of the classes, no amount of skill can match the power that is the medic and his uber charge. No amount of defenses, nothing an opposing team can do will amount to a well-coordinated uber push. Just to clarify, we are talking about the basic metagun's uber charge, because even though it is the most basic of the metaguns the medic has, it is still regarded as the most powerful of them all. As for its charge, 8 seconds of invincibility, in which you take no damage, but you can deal out however much damage you can and want, is nothing to make fun of. It has been known for a single uber to break through and destroy an entire defense. But what situations actually require this uber charge? First of all, extremely entrenched positions such as the last point from any control point or even payload maps. The defenders will often put all of their defenses into the last point, and if they are smart, will not throw away players unless necessary. Such defenses require an uber charge in order to even get at them, and attempting to push into it without one often ends up in slaughter of players from both sides. Except the defenders can use their defensive position to minimize their losses and maximize their damage. In this position, the only way the attackers have any hope of breaking is a coordinated uber charge. At the same time, the defenders will also be relying on their medic and his uber charge as well, but in such positions, the uber is mostly used to protect key players or simply hold a position that the attackers must take in order to do anything. In this position, it is almost required for both teams to exchange uber charges. No matter where they are, both teams will often be forced to confront one another's ubers. During these uber exchanges, the ubered players will engage the protected players, trying to force the medic to flash players in order to protect them. Just to clarify, the term flashing refers to when the medic switches the uber to another player from whoever he is healing at the time his uber is deployed. Whenever he flashes a player, he decreases how long the overall charge of the uber is by half a second. If he flashes as many people as he can, the medic can flash a total of 5 players, but doing so results in the overall uber lasting only 2.6 seconds. Returning to the previous situation, the most ideal, best case scenario would be to have as few people flashed as possible, only the classes necessary with the medic, and try to force the exchange with as many of the opposing team as possible. Another ideal scenario, depending on the situation, is to have popped after the opposing medic has popped his uber. This way your uber lasts technically longer, and you can make better use of the invulnerability it provides for your team. In another scenario, you can pop your uber first, and if the exchange goes into your team's favor, you can use the faster pop to your advantage. This is because since you used your uber charge first, you will also begin charging it again faster than the opposing team's medic. In the best case scenario, you survive while the opposing medic dies, and for each second he waits to respawn, you build up another 5% of your uber. So, if the opposing medic is in respawn for 8 seconds, you could build up about 40% of your uber before he has built up even 1%. In any case, these are just a few situations that require the uber charge to be popped, but the one situation that always requires the pop of an uber charge is when the medic's life is in danger. As a general rule, it is far better to be alive and waste an uber than to lose the charge because you died. If ever you are under attack and you feel that you're about to die, simply use the uber charge if for no other reason than to stay alive. Even if you waste the charge, at least you'll be alive to begin building it instantly instead of losing it and spending 8 or more seconds having to wait to begin building again. Likewise, if you drop the opposing medic and you have sufficient classes, use the uber charge and push forward. Without the medic's healing capabilities, and especially his uber, most teams are at a disadvantage against a team that does have those benefits, as stated in previous videos. Even if you pop the uber and only gain a certain amount of ground, it is often worth the use of the uber in such a position. This concludes our intermediate knowledge for the medic. Until next time, stay tuned for more, tacticians. this concludes our intermediate knowledge for the medic. Until next time, stay tuned for more tacticians. Oh, Davius, you gotta put a comma there. I mean, what...